All right, so we got to talk about the pre-tape. They're still doing the spooky music. They were doing that when I was there. The dun, 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 in the background of the pre-tape, Santino Marella is the authority figure. I don't know if they call him a commissioner, the general manager, the jizz mopper, whoever's running that place. And he's still using the goofy accent. And he's sitting there with Mance Warner and Sami Callihan. But they're both handcuffed, not to each other. They're just in handcuffs so that they can't get in a fight with each other. And or as Santino said, you're both handcuffed so you don't leave in a death bag. And they're standing there with 4 security guards consisting of outlaw wrestlers that you can tell a mile away, and some girl sitting with Mance Warner. And by the way, is Santino Marella being the general manager of a wrestling promotion kind of like Mo Howard getting out of the movies and becoming the head of Columbia Pictures?
Well, no, Mo had good ideas, but he couldn't necessarily run the marketing department or anything. The sad thing is, I thought Santino was the best one in this whole thing. He's at least he's committed to what he does. It's like Tony Storm. I think he's a good comedic performer, even though he didn't do it here. This was kind of like, Jerry Lewis when he made this. I can't compare him to Jerry Lewis.
What was the name of his serious movie? Goddamn, I can't remember it.
King
now.
of Comedy.
King of Comedy.
King of Comedy. I lost my mind there for a second.
But
it's not like Jerry Lewis making the King of Comedy.
It's not. No.
This is and I've never really seen this Mance Warner. I've seen his name before, and I've never.
Well,
I haven't seen Sami Callihan, but I've seen his name before, and yeah.
Well, I saw both of them in the same place. Mance Warner. When I did the MLW tapings, Mance Warner was the Southern psychopath, and they were using him as a baby face. And he was a good old boy, from, can't remember where his fucking hometown, but he had, the gimmick hometown and whatever the fuck. And I saw something there that he had personality. He could work a little bit and he could talk a little bit, and he was different. Everybody else was trying to be the fucking indie superstar, mode wrestler. And here was this guy. And I tried to, while I was there, they had me producing a lot of his promos and some of his matches, whatever. And I was trying to bring that part out of him because I thought he's different. He's unusual. He has a gimmick. This could work somewhere, right? You could draw money. I swear to God, as soon as I said something good about somebody, a month later, after I'd finished the last show that I did with them, I saw him on Twitter having a match with the Invisible Man. And then he's done the garbage championship wrestling matches where he gets different parts of himself stapled to the turnbuckle and shit. So that's another guy that I tried to say something good about that I ended up having to be sorry for that. And then Callihan, at the same MLW, he's the one that got fired that night for going into business for himself and fucking up shit in the building and then blame me for it. That's why I said it's a fucking rib. I do favors for people and end up having to work with these outlaw goofs that ain't even smart to the business. But he looked, as they were sitting at that table, like he's 100 pounds heavier than he was then. He looked like a fucking meatball. He's only like 5'7".
Oh, really?
Yes, he's a short.
He looked gigantic.
Guy.
No, I've never really seen him before. He was massive. I didn't think he was 5'7".
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he came up to me, and I think the top of his head was somewhere around my upper lip. But he looked giant, so I don't know what the fuck, but he was shaped like a warthog to begin with. But anyway, they were pissed at each other and cut a promo with edit to each other. And as I said, Mance Warner can talk a little bit. Callihan does the put on growly voice. He's kind of like a True Value Moxley. He does the same kind of shit. He drinks bones and eats blood and all that shit. And then the girl with Mance Warner threw coffee in Callahan's eyes. And I'm like, wait a minute. Up till then, I realized I didn't know which one the babyface was. I guess Callahan's the babyface because the girl with the other one threw, well, the girl with Mance Warner threw coffee in Callahan's eyes and he said, ah. So how are they the baby faces?
Was it coffee?
But then you've got,
because he was selling it like it was acid.
yeah, somebody was swinging a bottle of fucking bleach. This ain't AEW. She picked it up off the fucking table. They don't drink bleach and fucking TNA. But
sure
I mean,
are you
so
sure about that?
Well, somebody may be drinking some kind of goddamn huffing something here with it. But yes, but the fat fucking short guy with the growly put on voice is apparently is the baby face. Either that or just who gives a shit? I don't know. What'd you think?
What were they building up to? They're having a match of what's the stipulation? What are they doing?
I don't remember because it was also with the music was throwing me off from trying, and everybody was growling.
The music sucked.
Everybody's growling and trying to be De Niro in a fucking scene from a Tarantino movie or some shit instead of being able to speak plainly and tell everybody who you are. And the music was distracting. So I don't really know what they were. They're mad at each other and they've done a lot to each other and they want to do more. That's what I got out of it.